what we'll be preparing tonight is cube steak is what we call it, but some people call it country fried steak. So we'll be preparing that. We'll be making Brussels sprouts, roasted Brussels sprouts, and homemade mashed potatoes. So that is the menu for tonight. I hope you guys really enjoy coming along with me as I prepare my meal, and I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, so right now I am allowing my flour, because I keep my flour in a container like this until I need to change it out. I've said that in a previous video, and so I keep it in the refrigerator. And so right now I'm just letting it kind of come to room temperature, and that is for my cube steak. And so now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and peel these last couple of potatoes that I've decided to add to the pot. And I showed you guys already the vegetables and the potatoes soaking, as well as my meat marinating. Okay, so these are our Brussels sprouts. We have our Brussels sprouts inside of some water with lemon. See if you can. I just have some lemon that I squeezed and then cut and placed inside the water. So that's what I'm using to clean my Brussels sprouts. And then here are our potatoes. I have already peeled, and I'm just letting these soak while I peel the I think I'm going to add 3 more, so I've got to peel those and put those in here. And so that's my water and my potatoes. And then here is the cube steak. And I have already cleaned it. And what I did to clean my cube steak was I put it in some water with apple cider vinegar. And I let it sit just until I noticed that the color was kind of changing on it. And that's when I pulled it out, rinsed it, and then I seasoned my meat. And it's just been kind of sitting in the seasoning. So that's what this is. And if you purchase it in the store, it says on the package cube steak, and that's exactly what this is. So it's cube steak, and my children love cube steak. This is like my mom's recipe, partially my mom's recipe. She kind of taught me how to make cube steak, so this is kind of my tweaked version of her version. But the main thing is to make sure you season your meat really, really, really well. Alright, so let's get started. Now I'm just getting ready to actually begin the cooking process. So I would suggest prepping your food ahead of time if you can. I totally understand that it's not always possible because of real life, you know, but if you can prep your stuff, it does help. And so what I'm going to do is cut up these potatoes and peel these potatoes, and then okay, so now I have my potatoes on the stove. I put it on high, and I'm going to add some salt to it. Okay, so we're going to add salt. And you'll let those boil until they get soft and tender, and then we will make them into mashed potatoes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn my stove on a medium heat. I'm going to add some olive oil. And I just showed you my potatoes, so now I'm going to, I'm trying to add these little close-ups so that I don't have to keep moving my camera. And so I'll show you, I just added my olive oil to my pan, and it's just enough to cover the bottom, basically. now I'm going to add in most of that garlic that I chopped up. And I told you guys I don't measure anything, but I did about, I believe that was about 8 cloves of garlic. I believe it was about 8. So I probably, in my hand, I probably would say I have about 5 of those here. So I'm going to add those to the oil. And I'm going to save the other half for my meat. And then I'm going to add in some of my onions. I chopped up 2. So I would say I'm going to put about a half of an onion in here. And so that'll mean I'm saving 1 1/2 onion for my meat. Okay, so I have drained the water off of my Brussels sprouts, and I'm just going to start adding them into the pan. And this is just my way of making my Brussels sprouts. And I'll tell you guys, I tried this recipe on my family a few weeks ago, and that's what made me want to make it for you guys, because they actually ate the Brussels sprouts. And they do typically eat the Brussels sprouts when I make them, because I always try to, my mom always told me that the secret to Brussels sprouts was sugar, and I do agree with that. But I just learned to add in some more flavors to it, and so that's what I did the last time, was I experimented with those new flavors I added, and they actually loved it. So I decided this time that I would make it for you guys. So I'm going to see if I can bring you guys a little closer so you can see inside the pan as I cook, okay? Okay, so now you guys can see inside the pan. And this smells so delicious. I wish you guys could smell it. Like, you can smell the onions, and you got a little hint of a lemon scent, because you have that olive oil in there, so it's able to carry that lemon. So it smells absolutely delicious. And then you smell the green of the vegetables, because these are fresh Brussels sprouts. I purchased these at Aldi, and I absolutely love their Brussels sprouts. Okay, and so now we can start adding in our seasonings, because that's going to help to brown these as well. Okay, so we're going to start out with some garlic powder. I do not use garlic salt. I try not to use a lot of salt. So this is garlic powder that you see me using. This is my Tony's Saccharin, and I use that. That has my salt, so I use a little bit of that in, and that adds the salt, because of course this is a mixture, and they add salt to it. So this is parsley. I know my label's gone, but this is my Goya seasoning. It's the one with the red top. Some black pepper. And some turmeric. Now I know you guys like, yeah, she hasn't been using turmeric lately. You're right, because I hadn't gone to the store to get it. And I get mine from the Asian market, so yeah. And if you didn't know, you should know, butter. I use butter in just about everything. I'm using about 2 teaspoons, sorry. And my seasonings, guys, I eyeball my seasoning. I know that I want to see my seasonings. That's my biggest thing. If I'm using garlic powder, I'll just sprinkle on until my poor little heart feels like it's enough on there. And that's pretty much how I do with my seasonings. I don't think that a measurement is necessarily your guide, because for one, it's going to take you so long to prepare a meal trying to measure out how much of this, how much of that. And then those flavors, oops, onions overboard. Those flavors, you have to remember, is based on someone else's taste buds. So it's only a guide for you anyway. The best way to season your food is to your taste. And you do that by trial and error, pretty much. That's how I learned. You can start by using someone's measurements in a recipe. But ideally, seasonings for food is, to me, it's better when you eyeball it. Then I'm going to add a pinch of rosemary. And then the remainder of that lemon that I used to clean my Brussels sprouts, this was the other half of that. And so I'm just, got a seed that fell in there. Oops, I'll get it. So this is just the other part of that lemon. Okay, that was that seed, lemon seed that I had dropped in there. Okay, so I'm going to give you a close-up of that after I add in the last ingredient. And I didn't think it was any in here. I add some sugar to my sugar canister. Okay, so now I'm going to add, I know I'm pointing directly out of my canister, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to put about a tablespoon and a half of sugar. No, probably a tablespoon. Probably a tablespoon, because I don't want it sweet. All you're trying to do is get rid of the bite that's in it, because Brussels sprouts have like that bitterness to it. So that's basically what you're doing, is kind of getting rid of that bitterness. Okay, so now I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And I'm going to cover this and put this in the oven for I don't know how long. Probably about 20 minutes maybe. Okay, so this is the Brussels sprouts. They smell so delicious, guys. Like, oh my gosh. They smell amazing. Look at there. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. So what we're going to do is pour it into a baking dish, and then we'll put it in the oven. All that nice seasoning. Look at there. Oh, that looks amazing. Okay, let me get the rest of this in there. So this is the Brussels sprouts ready to go into the oven. They look amazing, right guys? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes! get ready to fry some cube steak. Alright, so what I do, grab my piece of meat, put it in here and just flour it up. I don't do anything special. My family does not like all that extra stuff, doing that, dip it, what do you call it, that double batter, what have you. I've tried that. They don't really, they're not big fans of that. They just want a regular crust on the meat. You don't have to do the egg, dip in an egg and then back in flour again. They're not really into that. I've tried it. It's not a big deal for my family, so we just do it the old-fashioned way. Just fry up the meat. Okay, so when you're frying a cube steak, the main thing you want to remember, and I'm a stickler for steak meat, so we're going to keep that handle back there. Okay, so what you're trying to do when you're frying your cube steak is you want to get a crust on both sides, and then you're going to finish cooking it in the oven. And the key, so you have two things that are very important when cooking cube steak. Make sure your meat is seasoned really well, and then make sure your gravy that goes on top of it when you put it in the oven is seasoned very well. So those are the two things. Your seasoning is very, very, very important, or else it's just going to taste like a bland piece of meat. And that was what I had to learn. So that's why you see me doing so much seasoning. And so I'll probably end up flipping it twice. And that's just to make sure that I have a nice crisp crust on my steak. Okay, so right now I just have my steaks cooking. Once I get them to the point that I'm getting ready to take them out, I'll show you guys that on the close-up, and then I'll show you the next step when we get ready to make our gravy to put it in the oven. So that's our cube steak. We're going to go ahead and let that cook. And in this pot we have our potatoes, and our potatoes are boiling, and like I said, they're not ready. They'll probably go for another half hour at least. And so I'll come back to you guys once everything is on its next step. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take our first batch out, and that's how we're looking. So you want a nice crisp coating on your steak. We'll let that one go for a couple more minutes there. And I don't put a lot of oil in my pan because you're not trying to deep fry them, which you can, if that's what you choose to do, you can do that. But I don't want to have a lot of oil to deal with when I get ready to make my gravy, so I only put It's not even an inch of oil in the pan. So maybe a half an inch of oil. I'm going to try to fit 3 in here this time. Potatoes, I have drained them. They are nice and tender. What I'm going to do now, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and season my potatoes and start smashing them up. And right now this is about, that's a half a stick of butter. I'm going to try to be good. I would put a stick in there. We'll see. I may end up putting another half in there to make it stick. I'm putting in some black pepper. And I go ahead and put my butter in now so that it can melt, because my potatoes, of course, are very, they're still very warm. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder. That's maybe about a tablespoon. My parsley, about 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to go ahead and start mashing. Another half a stick of butter. For one, because I don't have any more sour cream. And that's going to be my biggest missing ingredient. Watch my other cooking videos, which I hope you have. If you have not, then please go back and check those out as well. You may get some helpful tips from one of those videos. But what I was going to say was, if I can remember, is that I only buy real butter. Go ahead and flip our cube steak. These are the last 3 pieces that are in the pan now. cooking a total of 8 pieces of cube steak. I'm going to add in some whole milk. That's about a half a cup. And we're going to mash some more. Before I add salt to my mashed potatoes, I always have to taste them. So I'm adding in another tablespoon of garlic. Adding in about a teaspoon of salt. And some more pepper. And I typically do my pepper as much as I need to see it. I like to be able to see my pepper, so that's about how much I put in, is as much as it takes to be able to see it. If that helps. I still need a little bit more. And I probably need some more salt because I am very not generous with salt. And I'm going to add in a little bit of my Goya. Oh, I'm sorry. I am going to add Goya, but I'm going to use my green top. Adobo, Goya, maybe I didn't say adobo. So I used the red top adobo for my meat, and I'm using the green top for my potatoes. About 2 tablespoons. And that really helps to give your potatoes some flavor, so that they're not just plain. Then we're going to taste them again. That's how my cream potatoes look. Okay, I'm going to put a lid on those and just let those sit until everything else is ready. I'm going to go ahead and take out our last 3 pieces of cube steak. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to do our gravy. I'm going to use that last half a stick of butter. And I do still have like the remnants of my meat in the pan, so that's still in there. I didn't get rid of that. Although I did get rid of the oil because, like I said, I only used enough to cook my meat. And I want to be sure that I have some fresh taste going on for my gravy. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to let that butter melt, and then I'll add in some flour. Let's make sure I have some in here. Okay, I do. Okay, I'm going to give you a close-up of the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so that's the Brussels sprouts once they're done. They look absolutely delicious. You can see the garlic cloves. Yes.
Okay, so now our butter is just about melted. And it's picking up all of those remnants of the meat that's on the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour. Just kind of whisk that around. And I do try to have a cup of water handy. I didn't, so that's what I was doing really quick, trying to grab my water. Okay, and so now my gravy. I've already got my roux started, so it's at a good place now. So what I'm going to do is add in some seasoning, pepper, not a lot, some garlic, some Tony saturins, and the adobo with the green top. And a pinch and a half of rosemary. Stir that around again. And then our secret ingredient is some Lipton onion soup. And we're going to use 1 package of that. Stir all of this around. Add in our onions and garlic that we chopped up earlier. Oops. We're going to stir all that up together here. And now we're going to add in our water. And I add my water in a little at a time so that I can see how thick my gravy is before I make it too thin. And just keep adding your water. And I have my stove on medium. And as it cooks, I'll keep adding water. Okay, and so I can see that it's still pretty thick. So I'm going to add more water. And whisk it around. And let it cook. Okay, so it seems like it's pretty loose right now. So I'm going to let it come up to a boil so it can thicken up a little bit. And this will probably be it as far as the gravy. Okay, so my gravy's at the perfect consistency for me. And so we're going to get ready to pour this over our cube steak. And I'm doing something a little bit different once again, in that I am going to put some mushrooms on here. And guys, you know, this is one of those things where I had purchased these. These are mixed mushrooms. I think it's like shiitake, the oyster mushrooms, cremini. And I don't want these to go to the bad, so I'm going to just add them to my dish because it won't hurt, you know. And that's kind of how cooking goes. You know, you have something around your house that, you know, you enjoy eating, and it may not specifically go for that particular dish, but it won't hurt it, and you don't want it to go to the bad, go ahead and use it. It's not going to hurt anything. It's your meal. So what I'm doing is just pouring my gravy over my meat. And as you can tell, all of the remnants of what was in the pan cooked in with my gravy. Okay, and I'll get you a close-up of this. Okay, so that's my meat covered in gravy. It has the onions, the garlic, and the mushrooms on top, which they will all cook down really nicely. There's 2 different pans, 4 pieces of meat in each pan, and I'm going to cover it with aluminum foil. Put it in the oven on 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, and we'll be done. And I'll show you guys once I plate my meal. I'll show you guys. So I hope you all enjoy the video, and I'll just show you clips of how it looks when it's done. And have a blessed evening, and let me know if you try this recipe. Alright, see you soon. Bye guys.